Hello and welcome to Scots United, where I and my team of Scots, who are also me, bring you the latest in movies, television, and popular culture. Now, contrary to our usual format, where pop culture is kind of there, if there's awards, let's just jump in because Game of Thrones is coming back. And as my darling sister recently reminded me, Entertainment Weekly, they had a whole issue dedicated to it coming out. I was super excited. And yes, I've been rewatching the show. I'm currently in season 5. It's a little bit too rapey, burnt at the stakey for me, but not my favorite season. But there's some good stuff there. Looking forward to season 6. Season 7 a little bit stretches the limits of credulity, but season 8 I'm really looking forward to, and I really think it's going to end with a smash because it has to. It is the biggest show on earth. So, knowing there'd be multiple covers to Entertainment Weekly, I wondered who will be on my cover. And then it was delivered, and it was Sam and Gilly. They're fine. Um, I don't mean any, disrespect to Hannah Murray. That's the name that never sticks in my head. Hannah Murray and John Bradley. They're great, and certainly Sam has gotten less annoying as the show's gone on, as he was in the first season or two. But, when there's a Brienne of Tarth cover or a Jon Snow cover, I perhaps would have preferred those. Just saying. Nonetheless, coming back April 17th. So, hey, that's soon. Get going with that rewatch if you haven't already, or get watching if you haven't already altogether. Great show. Lots of fun. I mean, really, just fantastic what they managed to accomplish, honestly. In any case, though, this week, and yes, we're a day late, daylight savings, blame it on Rio. I mean, look at me. Behind me, my windows are still lit with daylight, and it's like 6:30. This is always that weird, like, what's going on? What world are we living in? Daylight savings. We don't really need it, but we're still doing it. So here we are. Now then, our topic for this week, books. We love them. Sometimes we don't give them enough attention with all the other media and electronics at our disposal, but you should. And if you didn't already know this, you have a public library that you can go to and borrow things for free. And sometimes I think we forget that when we shouldn't. It's not just some dusty old place with ancient books. At least I know mine has current stuff that's, has a lot of new offerings, and I always find something that I want to read. And that's been great. And I've been reading a lot these last 6 months, especially. And I want to talk to you about 3 books that you might want to check out. And I chose these 3 just because they're all memoirs. So they're all written by real people about their lives. Maybe that makes them more accessible to a wider audience. I don't know. But they were all great. First, Sally Field, In Pieces. It's her memoir. Probably of the 3 we're talking about, it's the dishiest because, she talks about Burt Reynolds. She talks about some other things, some directors. There's definitely a little bit of Hollywood exposed there, but nothing too juicy, nothing too scandalous. She doesn't go over the top with it because she's Sally Field and she's classy. However, you do find out about some rough stuff from her childhood, and she definitely was put through it, and you hence the title even, In Pieces. It's not the cheeriest of memoirs. But you will fly through it. Big page turner, and really you understand Sally Field's devotion to the craft of acting. Uh, hey, she's great. American Treasure. Now 2 is definitely the least dishy because it's from a politician, and that is Shortest Way Home by Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg, that is Buttigieg. It is a name, his father was from Malta. There you go. That's in the Mediterranean, if you didn't know that. He is the openly gay, married to a man, gay. Not married to a woman and openly gay. He's openly gay and married to a man. But he's the mayor of South Bend, Indiana for the last, I think, 6-7 years. And is running for president, which a mayor running for president, I know. But he has an interesting perspective, coming from Indiana, he has a point of view where everyone can be reached and everyone should be respected in sort of the way that the Midwest was often forgotten in the last presidential election. Um, he's a military veteran. He's a lot of things. He's also very brilliant. He was a Rhodes Scholar. Went to Oxford. I really just enjoyed his populist message in the best sense of listening to people and reaching out. I would love to see his name recognition continue to go up. I want to see him in the debates. I want to see him in the top, 6 candidates. Will he clinch the Democratic nomination? Probably not. But I think his opinions, his points of view resonate and should resonate and would resonate with the whole country. So I'd love to see him continue to make inroads. Hey, maybe he could be a running mate. Maybe he could be in the cabinet. I just want to see him. I felt something from this book. Maybe you will too. And our final book is friend of the show, Parker Posey. Parker Posey, you're on an airplane. Because she writes this as if you've sat down next to her and you're on an airplane with her. I love that it also says, a self-mythologizing memoir. Yes, is Parker Posey in noted kook territory? Yeah, she's kind of kooky. She's a little out there. She's wearing a turban on the cover. But I loved this book. This is probably the mid-dishiest of the three, because it's not as dishy and Hollywoody as Sally Fields. But, she tells some stories. She references some stars and some funny connections with celebrities and her projects that she's been on. But nothing salacious. It doesn't feel like she's trying to, tantalize us with tidbits. It's more just about her perspectives on life, her family. I love that she talks about eating, regular food, but she also, doing yoga, traveling. You really just get a really strong sense of the free spirit that is Parker Posey, which is not shocking, I know, to anybody. But I just really enjoyed it. Lots of fun. Again, flipped right through it. It was a real easy read, but not a read that didn't have some real fun, great moments. So, looking for a great book, page turner, and she has recipes and little collaged pictures and photos in there, and it just makes it even more fun. So, 3 books, there you go. Sally Field, In Pieces. Pete Buttigieg, Shortest Way Home. Parker Posey, You're on an Airplane. So that's it for this week, so have a good one.